Here I'm taking unit 4 of our subject energy science and engineering, that is conventional and non-conventional energy resources. Here I will take a few of the topics of this unit. So before starting, let's have a look on the basic definition of energy and its forms. So energy is defined as the capacity to do work, and here are listed some of the forms of energy, that is kinetic energy, potential energy, light energy. We have sound energy, gravitational energy, elastic energy, and there are many other forms of energy as well. So, one form of the energy is easily converted into the other form of energy. So now here we are talking about conventional and non-conventional energy resources. So the sources of energy have been classified into these two basic components. So if we talk of conventional energy resources, we say these are the primary sources of energy. They are obtained from the fossil fuels. These cannot be replenished. They take a lot of time to get replenished, and these are the forms that cause pollution. On the other hand, if you're talking about the non-conventional energy resources, so we say they are the secondary sources of energy, and they are generated from sun, wind, rain, tides. They are, they are present in abundance on our planet Earth, and they are the cleanest sources of energy. They do not cause as much pollution as is caused by these conventional energy resources. So here I will be taking the wind energy. So every one of us know how the wind flows. So when there is a atmospheric pressure between 2 points, the air starts moving from the high pressure area to the low pressure area, resulting in the flow of wind. And that pressure difference decides at what speed the wind is blowing. So we have some types of winds written here. We have planetary winds, we have periodic winds, and we have local winds. So now we are talking about the wind energy. So the energy that is harnessed from this wind to do various type of works is the wind energy. So what we do, the wind provides us the mechanical energy that is harnessed through the wind turbines, and these wind turbines, they help us to turn the electric generators, and these electric generators do rest of the work. So we say wind power is a sustainable and renewable form of energy. It has smaller impact on environment as compared to the burning these fossil fuels. So these are the wind farms. So what is a wind farm? So when we install a group of wind turbines in a location, we call that a wind farm, and we harness the wind energy from this wind farms. So there are many the location of the wind farms depend on many factors like wind condition or access to the electric transmission or the local electricity price. So there are so many factors that determine where we have to install or where we have to set up a wind farm. Broadly speaking, if we talk of a wind turbine, so wind turbine, we have two main types of a wind turbine, that is a horizontal axis wind turbine and vertical axis wind turbine. Before going to this, let's see what is a wind turbine. A wind turbine is also called a wind energy converter, and this is a device that converts the kinetic energy of the wind into mechanical energy, which is later converted into electrical energy by means of a generator. So this is how a horizontal axis wind turbine looks. So we say when the axis of the turbine is parallel to the ground, we say this is a horizontal wind turbine. These are the large three wind horizontal axis wind turbines, and majority of the wind power produced in world today is produced with the help of these horizontal axis wind turbines. Now we talk of these vertical axis wind turbines, and when this axis of the wind turbine is perpendicular to the ground, then we say we have a vertical axis wind turbine. So next, I'll be talking about geothermal energy. So geothermal energy is the energy that is generated and stored within the subsurface of the earth. So from where this heat energy comes? It comes from the radioactive decay and the heat loss from the Earth's formation. So the inside layers of the Earth, we say they are at high temperature as compared to the upper layer of the earth's surface, and this temperature difference is called the geothermal gradient. And with the help of this geothermal gradient, we are able to extract the heat energy from the inner surfaces of the earth. So if we talk of the geothermal energy or the geothermal power, the geothermal energy comes in two forms. One is vapor dominated and another is liquid dominated. So let's see what how a geothermal power plant works. So this is the basic diagram of a geothermal power plant. Here you can see this is the magma reserve, or you can say the heat reserve, and from here some impermeable rocks, they extract this energy and they move towards the upper surfaces, and this is the water that is getting collected somewhere in under the earth's surface, and the heat energy is extracted by this water or this reservoir from these rocks, and we just extract this energy, heat energy, either in the form of hot water itself or in the form of steam. And on the basis of that, we have distinguished our geothermal power plants as vapor dominated or liquid dominated. That means if we are extracting it in the form of steam, then we say we have a vapor dominated power plant, and if we are taking hot water from the reservoir, we say this is a liquid dominated uh, geothermal power plant. So next is we have some few types of the geothermal power plants. One is this dry steam power plant, binary cycle, and this is flash steam power plant. So in dry steam power plant, what we do, we just draw the steam directly from the geothermal or the reservoir in under the surface of the earth. Here you can see this is a production well from where we take the steam, and the steam is doing its work over this turbine, and this turbine is drawing this generator, and this we can say the leftover steam is injected back into the surface of the earth. Then we have a flash steam power plant where we take, this is the liquid dominated power plant where we take hot water from this production well, and this then there comes the binary cycle power plant where only heat is extracted, and in the heat exchanger this heat is given to some working liquid, and this working liquid gets heated, and the rest of the work on the turbine is done by this working liquid itself.